War for the Planet of the Apes is the third and last edition in the rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy, and is once again written and directed by Matt Reeves and stars Andy Serkis as Caesar. And man oh man, this movie is an achievement in filmmaking. Not even joking, this is sincerely one of the best Hollywood films that I've ever seen. I've never seen a 2-hour and 30-minute blockbuster film contain so much substance and so much depth within its characters, story, and themes. And on top of that, it's also aesthetically breathtaking. Every aspect of the aesthetics are top tier, which include the production design, the score, the sound editing, the film editing, the cinematography, and the special effects. I mean, this is honestly some of the best and most magnificent special effects and CGI work that I've ever laid my eyes upon. I really believe that this film will win Best Visual Effects at the Oscars this year. I can't really see any other film competing with this, except for maybe Star Wars at the end of the year, but this film is a visual feast, but it doesn't rely on it to be a great film, which is so incredibly refreshing. As a matter of fact, in terms of action, there isn't much of it in this film. There's one big action scene in the beginning, and there's another big action scene in the end, and I had absolutely no problem with that because everything in between is what really captivated and absorbed my senses more than the action did. I mean, the action is phenomenal, don't get me wrong. It's filmed with delicacy and it's brilliantly choreographed. But I was mostly impressed that this film wasn't at all afraid to move at a slow pace as it establishes layers of story and character substance. And I feel that your average audience will walk away from this film a bit let down because of this, which kinda sucks because to me, this is the ideal format that I think every Hollywood movie should strive for. Give your story and your characters substantial time to develop, that way when the action hits, you're much more invested and you actually give a shit about the peril that the characters are going through. Each character in this movie is well thought out and developed. Even characters that seem irrelevant and aren't given much screen time have their own arcs. Andy Serkis as Caesar was absolutely phenomenal, and it'd be great if the Academy could finally recognize him this year, but the character of Caesar himself is deeply explored in this film. A certain pivotal event in this film causes him to face his inner demons throughout the film, and the way in which it's explored was brilliant. It's conveyed through bits of imagery, facial expressions, and intense dialogue with other characters. I absolutely loved Caesar's character in this rebooted franchise, and this film really allows you to attach yourself to him and to honor the kind of character he has become despite some of his naturalistic flaws. The other apes that joined Caesar on his quest were also very well fleshed out and are given emotionally beautiful character moments. This film as a whole is emotionally charged, and it works with every scene that it throws at you, because it's just so well written and executed in an incredibly effective way. The ape character voiced by Steve Zahn was so enjoyable, funny, and charming to watch. And I'm glad it turned out that way because an ape voiced by Steve Zahn could have totally gone wrong and had the potential to drag the film down, but it didn't. His character had purpose and gave some cheer to a film that is very serious throughout. The little girl in this movie was also very well fleshed out and given purpose. Unlike the hot garbage that is Transformers, where the girl character is given nothing purposeful to do and does absolutely nothing to the film's plot, Planet of the Apes reminds me that it is in fact possible to have a good number of characters that we care about and are actually given something of meaning. You just have to put in, effort of some kind. Woody Harrelson plays the antagonist character in this film, and holy shit, was this guy phenomenal and menacing. Woody Harrelson is such a brilliant actor, and he delivers this difficult role as if it's a walk in the park. He is able to deliver his lines in such a comfortably convincing way. And his character in general is explored and fleshed out so deeply to the point where you as an audience member can somewhat see where this maniacal murderer is coming from. And the way that his character is first introduced into the film is spectacular and emotionally riveting. Just the way it was captured with the use of sound and camera was so intense and artistically impressive. The setting, story, and personality of Woody Harrelson's character is very similar to the character of Colonel Kurtz in Apocalypse Now, and it was truly glorious. Planet of the Apes plus Apocalypse Now equals a stunning achievement in filmmaking. And what makes it more brilliant is the fact that the film is well aware of this. This really isn't a spoiler, but if you want to be a little bitch about it, just cover your ears for the next 10 to 15 seconds. But at one point of the film, we as the audience can see the graffiti on the wall that reads Ape Apocalypse Now. Planet of the Apes plus Apocalypse Now, Ape Apocalypse Now. It's glorious. It's truly existentially glorious. I love it. I fucking love it. So all in all, this film was everything that I hoped it would be. I was really hoping that this reboot of Planet of the Apes could make for a perfect trilogy, and it has truly earned that label. This film exceeds on all aspects. It's got breathtaking aesthetics, the effects are some of the best that I've ever seen, the use of the score and sound was masterful, the action was choreographed and filmed with delicacy, and most importantly, I have never seen a Hollywood movie spend so much time developing its story and characters. It contains an immense amount of substance that I was absolutely blown away by. So War for the Planet of the Apes will most definitely, most certainly receive an A+. In terms of filmmaking, I believe this is the superior Planet of the Apes film compared to the other two in the rebooted franchise. Dawn is phenomenal and Rise is great, but War for the Planet of the Apes impressed me on so many different levels that it's hard not to recognize it as the best. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video and seeing what I had to say about War for the Planet of the Apes. If you've seen it already, comment below and let me know what you think about it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the Misfit Pawn channel so you can be updated on more film-related content.